Go tell Sandy I need her, because I don't know which she wants me to. Tell Sandy I need her, somebody. Okay, so we are going to get started, so I'm hoping everybody can find a seat. We want to get started and stay on time. Which is my presentation? It says I have the rotating slides here, which is mine. You know what I mean? Yeah. Thank you everyone for coming. I'm so excited that we're getting our 5th annual conference off the ground. I have a few slides we'll put up. Just some housekeeping points. If you signed up for CEUs, or if you haven't signed up and want to, there's paperwork that we have for you there, because we want to make sure that this counts for a lot of reasons. Parking, you got a parking slip from the machines out there in the parking garage. Take that by the front desk. They will validate it for you. I just did a little. They will validate it for you, so you have free parking today. We are doing something new this time. We have microphones set up in the aisleways because we like audience participation when we do our conversations and our interactions. But we also have a new technology we're using this time called Slide On, and when we get what is it? Slido, sorry. And I'll give those that information for you in a second. But you can go to this website and you can type in questions that the audience can read, and we can vote on those questions. So when it comes to discussion time, we can elevate those that are of the most interest to the audience and make sure that they get asked to both our short panels and our long panels tomorrow. So that's a kind of a new technology, and we'll have some time for the microphone, but we want you all to use this technology so that we get all of your thoughts sort of collectively offered. All right, and as Sandy gets that on, I'm going to start because I want us to stay on time and I want to respect Provost Jones' time. It's coming. All right, first of all, thank you all for coming, devoting your time and your talents to this conference series. A lot of you came from afar. I know at least one of you drove from Canada yesterday, 7 hours. Through border control and other sorts of weather, so thank you for doing that. Thanks to you who took time out of your classrooms away from your students, and those who are our trainees and our students who are devoting their careers to these important issues. I'm especially excited that we get to devote this year's conference to trauma-informed schools, because schools can play a key role in the prevention of child maltreatment, in understanding the unique needs of kids who have been traumatized, that educators can support and deliver within the school setting. The reach is great, the reach is far. And then finally, we want to devote the last half of tomorrow to breaking down barriers, addressing challenges, and supporting teachers and administrators in making trauma-informed schools part of the vernacular of all school systems. So thank you for that. And so you know, my name is Jennie Noll, and I am the director of Penn State's academic effort to impact the field of child maltreatment. And this network was established in 2012 as a cluster hire of 12 faculty across 5 colleges who conduct transdisciplinary basic research and forge an ambitious, very ambitious graduate, and postgraduate education effort. And I'm announcing for the first time, I'm pleased to announce that we here at Penn State, our network, has been just awarded the largest monetary contribution to child maltreatment research and training from the NIH. So yes. Yes. We will be NIH's capstone center for excellence in child maltreatment research and training. And this, you have to understand, is an unprecedented opportunity to leverage research and education to transform our field. It's a huge honor to be named this capstone center. And as stewards of this opportunity, we pledge the largest research and education effort. We pledge to transform our field, significantly change the way we detect, prevent, and treat child maltreatment to mitigate the deleterious outcomes for survivors and support and inspire future generations to do the same on behalf of children, even worldwide. So the largest tenet of our capstone center is to support, conduct, and disseminate impactful, basic, and applied research and translate this research into solutions that can change lives. These are solutions informed by frontlines workers like yourselves, people working with children within the human services and education departments, solutions that teachers can bring to superintendents, that superintendents can bring to policymakers at the state, local, and national departments of education, solutions that can be translated into impactful messages that resonate with legislators who hold the purse strings of system-wide change. This focus on solutions has led to a bit of rebranding of our network. So up here you can see now our new name. Heretofore we will be referred to as the Child Maltreatment Solutions Network. And this melds very well with our book series, our conference series, and our new capstone center. So it's easier to say. So Child Maltreatment Solutions Network. So this continued investment and support of our network is in large part thanks to the vision and commitment of Penn State's Executive Vice President and Provost, Dr. Nicholas P. Jones. Dr. Jones sets the university's academic priorities and allocates funds to move priorities forward. He works closely with the president, vice presidents, and vice provosts, deans, and faculty of academic colleges, and various other units and committees. He also chairs the University Strategic Planning Council, which recently and impressively completed Penn State's new strategic plan for 2016 through 2020, titled Our Commitment to Impact. Our Commitment to Impact. Dr. Jones holds an MS and a PhD in civil engineering from the California Institute of Technology, and he completed his undergraduate degree in civil engineering at the University of Auckland, New Zealand. He came to Penn State in 2013 from Johns Hopkins, where he served as the Benjamin T. Rome Dean of the Whiting School of Engineering. And that was 2013, and Dr. Jones and I first met at a conference just like this, and we both had just landed, and here we are at a conference presenting together. And I reminded Dr. Jones of this recently as I was bringing to him our big proposal for the Capstone Center, and we went through it, and at the end of it, I reminded him of when we first met, and that it had only been a few years, and he said to me, "Jenny, do I look older?" And I don't think I gave you a good enough answer because I was trying to negotiate, I think, a $3.4 million matching package. But I have an answer for you now. And the answer is, yeah, you kind of do. But only in the triumph lines that come when you smile, when you see a successful endeavor and things starting to bear fruit. And in the places of endearment in between the worry on the forehead, because the amount of success you've had in your endeavors in these few years has been impressive, and you field so many requests, and you do so with such grace and devotion, and I just personally want to thank you for that. So yeah, but only a little. Okay, with that, I want to hand it over to Dr. Jones, and he'll say a few words.
Dang, that's quite an introduction. Thank you very much, Jennie. Much appreciated, and good morning to all of you, and welcome to Penn State's 5th Annual Conference on Child Protection and Wellbeing. It's so exciting to see so many of you here from Pennsylvania and from beyond, all here to learn and share ideas, all to evolve your vital work related to the safety of children. We created the Network on Child Protection and Wellbeing back in 2012 to advance Penn State's academic mission of teaching, research, and engagement in the area of child maltreatment. Since the network's launch, its conferences have established a concrete frontier of understanding child maltreatment through advanced research. Bringing together child welfare researchers, educators, and advocates to study and strategize during events like this is truly meaningful and impactful. The network, which, as you've heard, is now called the Child Maltreatment Solutions Network, is a core part of the Social Science Research Institute here at Penn State. We're very proud of it and the valuable work that it enables. It cuts across multiple colleges and is remarkable in terms of what it has already accomplished in terms of research and teaching. Besides this annual conference, the network was also instrumental in launching our new university-wide minor in child maltreatment and advocacy. While combating child maltreatment and its effects from all angles is important and imperative, the theme of this conference, Trauma-Informed Schools, shines a bright light on the role of education in this battle. Children who face early life trauma, maltreatment, or adversity are at risk for falling behind in school, not matching milestones with their peers, and missing out on the quality education they deserve. According to statistics in 2014 from the US Department of Health and Human Services, more than 3 million children across the United States were reported as alleged victims of maltreatment. Also, the National Child Traumatic Stress Network estimates that 1 out of every 4 students in US schools has been exposed to a traumatic event that can affect learning and behavior. While grappling with the difficulties of trauma, these young people may fall by the wayside and their potential may be unfairly and unjustly lost. So how can we mitigate this by integrating child maltreatment, prevention, and detection into the school setting? At Penn State, we strive for healthy, informed, and inspired students. But the process does not begin here. It begins in preschools and kindergartens, through elementary, middle, and high schools. Education and a passion for learning start early, and it is essential that we do all we can to foster and grow that passion for every student, no matter their circumstance. In Penn State's strategic plan, as you just heard, for the next 5 years, entitled Our Commitment to Impact, we state several thematic priorities, one of which is transforming education. Integral to that priority is partnering more effectively with pre-college educators. Pursuing a college degree can be a daunting challenge for students who are underprepared or hindered in their primary or secondary education. Dismantling barriers to that pursuit will require fortification of current partnerships and creation of meaningful new ones with educators from pre-K through 12th grade. Such changes will ensure a continuous, positive, and engaging flow from one academic experience to another, creating a more seamless approach to student learning. This conference and the work all of you are doing are critically important to this effort. As educators, counselors, and scientists, you strive to provide traumatized children with the opportunity to succeed. The network's many researchers and affiliates are looking into the impact that trauma can have on a child's academic achievements. They are actively searching for ways to integrate their findings into school systems in order to help close trauma-induced achievement gaps. Your studies, theses, grant proposals, and countless hours of analysis and problem solving all aim to answer one question: how can we best help children achieve in the face of trauma? The research and topics discussed during this conference can help pave the way for our schools to help trauma victims learn and excel. By adopting an informed educational lens, educators can be attuned to the unique difficulties faced by students who have been victims of maltreatment. With a greater understanding of the impact that these events have on a child's ability to learn, schools will be better equipped to overcome the achievement gaps that trauma causes and support a child's true educational potential. You and others like you are vital in the translation of research to knowledge and practice. By your involvement in discussions over the next 2 days, the science focused on childhood trauma and maltreatment can grow, fortified with the ideas of those who serve children on the front lines and who know the challenges and opportunities of creating trauma-informed schools. Throughout this conference, you'll have an opportunity to learn about empirically supported prevention efforts that can be delivered in the school setting. You'll also delve into the impact of trauma on learning, the promotion of educational well-being, and the cultural shifts needed to drive action-oriented change. Another of the thematic priorities in Penn State's strategic plan is enhancing health. This includes an intense focus on children's health and informing governmental health policy. As part of this conference, you'll be exploring ways to break down barriers and identify solutions for influencing policy. You'll be able to discuss results in presentations and panels, and even pose new questions for consideration. All of this is essential to advancing meaningful dialogue about the protection, health, and welfare of children. Since the founding of the Penn State Network on Child Protection and Well-Being, researchers have risen to the challenge of advancing the prevention, detection, and treatment of child abuse through science and interdisciplinary education. In the past, this conference has leveraged academia to address maltreatment intervention, abuse investigation, the role of family, and the biological impact of stress, among many other topics. I have no doubt that this year's focus on trauma-informed education will engender positive impacts as well. Young people who face trauma and adversity will not have to do so alone, thanks to your dedication and research. Thank you for being here and for making a difference. I'd like to conclude by personally congratulating the network and everyone involved with it on the accomplishment you just heard about. The National Institutes of Health funding the network's P50 application. This news serves as testimony to the outstanding work being done here. P50 grants, like this one from the NIH, support the establishment of specialized centers that take a multidisciplinary approach to tackling a specific medical problem area. Centers may also serve as regional or national resources for special research purposes. So, Penn State will soon become home to the new NIH Capstone Center for Multidisciplinary Research and Training in Child Abuse and Neglect. Among other key activities, the center will embark on an ambitious study of the long-term health consequences of child abuse and neglect here in Pennsylvania. Needless to say, I'm especially proud because this accomplishment involved so many individuals who have been dedicated not only to our network on child protection and well-being, but also to child advocacy in all its forms. In only a few years, the work of this network led by Dr. Noll, is making an impressive, positive impact in this area. And I'd like to pause to congratulate the center and its leadership on this great success. So. Thank you all again for being part of this event and for having me here to welcome you this morning. I hope you all have a fabulous conference. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jones, and thank you, Sandy, for getting the slides up that I was supposed to have up earlier. But now we have it so we can put up the Slido thing. Right, Sandy? She's gone again. I wanted to show you the way to do the Slido, but we'll get to that, I think. Maybe it's here. Oh, here it is. Let's do this. To say play. I'm not the best at this. Slideshow from current slide. There, look, there it is. Yay, Jenny did it. I can write a P50 grant, but I can't use the thing. Okay, so Slido.com, right? This is for our audience interaction and questions. Okay, to join the event, you put in Trauma 2016. Okay. You can send questions and vote on questions. Ugh, sorry, now it's going ahead of me. Send questions and vote on questions, okay? And then what we'll do is during our interaction time when we have discussions, we'll field these and we'll go through them and we'll make sure that the top questions get asked to the panels, okay? So. Slido.com, I don't know what that is. Sorry, this is on a loop and I didn't do it. Slido.com and the password, you log on with Trauma 2016. Yeah, so we're done with that. Okay. Well, it's on a loop, so it keeps going to the next one. But okay. All right, so I would like to get off to this, a great start, a quick start. I want to stay on time, respectful of everyone's time. I know a lot of people need to leave tomorrow afternoon to get flights and so forth, so we're not going to get behind, okay? And that's not going to be due to me. It's going to be due to our speakers and our timekeepers who are going to keep everybody honest, okay? So I'd like to invite up our first panel, Dr. Mary Polito, Dr. Elizabeth Letourneau, and Dr. David Wolf. And as they're coming up, I'm going to preface this, when I'm getting these up, by the fact that I've invited these three people because these three people are arguably doing the most cutting-edge research in trauma, prevention of trauma and prevention programs in the school setting. We are very much interested in promoting what we call the evidence base. The evidence base means that these are programs that have benefited from the best science available, cutting-edge methods and federal funding, most of them, and these are the people who conduct that research. When we inject evidence base, we give the best programs, the best medicine to kids. I like to use the metaphor of if your child was sick with cancer, would you want to give that child a lollipop? When there are medicines out there that are better in treating that ailment. Evidence base is like providing the best medicine out there, and these people are on that cutting edge. That's why I wanted